All right, folks, this again calls for a "you can't make this stuff up" statement. Oh my goodness. This one has to do with Elon Musk being confident that his brain chip company Neuralink can begin human trials in 6 months. Now, a few days ago, he said that. Let me read to you this article from Zero Hedge. And of course, it's very interesting, and there is some biblical implications to this. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Let me read the first part of this. It says, at a live streamed event on Wednesday evening, Elon Musk announced that Neuralink Corp's coin-sized brain chip could be implanted in human heads for clinical trials within the next 6 months. Now, he says this, I'm going to quote this. He says, "We want to be extremely careful and certain that it will work well before putting a device into a human. But we've submitted, I think, most of our paperwork to the FDA, and probably in about 6 months, we should be able to upload Neuralink in a human." Now, Musk said this while he was doing a big event at his headquarters there in Fremont, California. But I want to say this because there are some very biblical implications to this. First of all, Musk has been talking about this for a long time. As a matter of fact, he made predictions that they would do clinical trials a few years ago. It seems as though he's got a lot more weight behind his statement that he made a few days ago. But what is interesting about this is he's talking about it, in essence, replacing your cell phone and all of that stuff because it will read your mind. You can send a text by simply thinking about the text. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that he's actually talking about here. Now, this is pretty amazing, harnessing use of the human mind. But what is biblical, I think, the biblical implications of this are remarkable with respect to the speculation from end time stuff, and we don't have to get into that. That kind of stuff is kind of obvious. But the thing that I think is the most biblically significant portion of this is the fact that we are building another Tower of Babel here, right? The trans movement, as we would call it, it's not just simply the kind that it has been traditionally associated with. The newest part of the trans movement, the new trans, is transhuman. And they are seeking to improve upon what they believe God messed up in. Now, the problem is God was merciful to man as they tried to build their Tower of Babel the first time by confusing their language and putting an end to them destroying themselves. In this particular context, considering the fact that we are in the last days, folks, I'm not so sure how much of a limit God's going to put on it, at least in this immediate moment. There will come a point in time where God's going to stop it all because he's God and he's going to put an end to the shenanigans of humanity. But folks, we are building another Tower of Babel, and there is a whole contingent of people that are saying they can fix what God messed up, when in reality, God didn't mess anything up. We messed it up because of sin. Very interesting data point here, folks. Keep an eye on this one because it's going to sort of get into something a lot bigger than a lot of people think it will. And folks, it's not pretty, right? We are in the last days. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Jesus is coming soon. We got to open up our eyes, you guys. It's happening. Let's keep ourselves in tune with what God's word says about how we should live. And let's get our houses in order. Let's get right, guys. The signs are everywhere. God bless you.